And welcome back to Tight Sports. Welcome back to Tight Sports. We're going to do our Week 11 football preview. Thank you for joining me again, where everything is Crimson Tide slanted and heavily Steeler biased. And if you don't like it, just stick around because I think you may get a laugh or two. Just jumping right into it. Oh, first time in my life I've ever had to look at the percentages of the games that I won, and let's just get. I'm trying over here. Anyway, the first game last Thursday, Carolina and Chicago hooked up. I had them winning, but they didn't cover. I know Bryce. He got sacked 3 times, and Bagent stayed clean. That was pretty much the crux of the game. Carolina's offense was pitiful. So glad that I waited till Friday morning to actually watch this game because it was a real stinker. Moving on with the next game was Indy versus New England. Ugh. That was an early Sunday morning game. And have you ever had a moment on a Sunday morning that something just made you run out and go to church? That wasn't big trauma, you know what I'm saying? Just like I looked at the TV screen, I just said, hurry up, kids, crank the car, it's time to go. 10-6. Indy took this one in a game so exciting. I nearly drowned in my oatmeal early Sunday morning. Really loved how they, that point when Belichick just made a great decision, like, let's go ahead and bench Mac because he ain't getting it done. And getting it done really meant Zappy coming in the game to throw the drive-killing interception. I mean, golly. Terrible. Started getting a lot better with this Houston and Cincy. Woo! I took the money with this one. I thought Cincy would win, but not cover. And, well, if you're going to be half right, be on the money side. And I did just that, so good job by me. I watched this one at the old sports bar, and it was hard to rotate on my high back chair, swiveling between the games and still a game. This was a really exciting game. I just couldn't believe how it ended, but like I said, I was on the money side of this one. I'm so happy of who I have become. Anyway, 1927 was the score between the New Orleans and the Minnesota Prince Rogers Nelsons. And I was thinking, as I was watching this game out of the corner of my eye, I started thinking, I said, now I know good and well I didn't trust myself and tell the people to put money on Carr. No way. I was right. Carr goes down in this one and then with an injury, and Winston comes in for his highly anticipated interceptions. I mean, it's just what happens when a person hasn't played in a while. However, give him time and he, with the ones, starting with the starting lineup and getting the repetitions in, and he may make help New Orleans make a little run. But Joshua Dobbs is just making sure he does not join the race for Mars pretty soon. Now, that's a joke. Let me explain to you. If you don't know, he's not only a graduate of the University of Tennessee, he was an aerospace engineer. He still wants to do aerospace engineering. He's qualified. I think he finished with honors, kind of on the summa cum laude side, like 3.8, 3.7, whatever. He finished the aerospace engineering program. So he could be actually joining the race to Mars in another 5, maybe 8 years. In a league that started like 10 rookies, there's no way there's not a place for a winner in the space race, right? Come on, man. Oh, man. This one, Titans versus the Bucks. Baker was on fire with this one, playing like an all-pro. His inconsistency is legendary. And I may not try him at home again. I may just say, let me give him a little faith. I blew this one big. Levis was timid, and he looked really lost out there with his offense. Henry had 24 yards on 11 carries. 24 yards. Find a 2-year-old, a second grader, and do the math on that. That's a pathetic outing for Tennessee. Just moving on. I blew that one. Anyway, San Fran versus Jacksonville. San Fran I don't know what I was thinking. I was wrong again on this one. I know, build me up here. Purdy had Debo back, and he makes them healed and play tough as ever. It's something about him being on that field. He lifts the toughness of the team by his play, and I guess they're like, man, I ain't about to let no receiver look harder than me. Everybody start playing. Sunshine Lawrence was not allowed to throw anything. He's not allowed to throw anything down the field because of his coach. He has this horizontal offense, West Coast thing he's doing. Teams are making defensive adjustments to make the push toward the playoff these days, and it's easy to see by looking at their defense why Philadelphia let this guy go, man. Right after so fast after the Super Bowl victory, because either they knew maybe he's running Bill Walsh's old offense and thought he was going to sneak it by, but there's too much film on how to slow them down, especially with the kind of athletes that are in the NFL today. But I see why, he's in Jacksonville, not still in Philadelphia. Cleveland and Baltimore. Woo. Really exciting competition between these two goofy squads because they play like a bunch of goofballs. It was a good game, but it was an athletic circus almost. Watson took a hit, though. He took a rest. He came back swinging. Lamar Jackson did all he could, but he had some goofy interception, the tip pick six interception, and it was crazy. But the Browns defense, they were up to the challenge. They kept him under 31, I guess. Cooper, our man Roll Tide, he had several clutch catches against to assist Jerome Ford as well. I took the loss on this one, but really, all in all, it really helped the Pittsburgh Steelers, so I'm happy. The Steelers are all that matter, people. All that matter. All the rest of the stuff is just fluff. Oh, my goodness. Arizona versus Atlanta visited the Cactus Birds out there in Arizona. Man, the Dirty Falcons delivered another disappointing outing. I mean, they lost in this game, man. I thought they could handle this one, to be honest. They lost Heineke, and they let Riddle come out there and get terrorized. He wasn't ready when they put him off the field. He definitely wasn't ready by the time they put him back. So he came out there and got terrorized. Kyler just walked out of rehab and ran for 945 yards in actuality to garner 280 yards all-purpose and a rushing TD. I mean, man, offense don't have to be ready with all them stars, college stars, now in the pros. Defense, what's your excuse? Did you not know that Kyler runs around like a chicken with his head cut off? Have you seen the film? I mean, anyway. That was terrible. Next game up, Detroit versus the two votes of LA. Man, 41-38. Detroit was favored by 2, and at kickoff, and they won by 3. Yay me! Montgomery and Gibbs ran all over LA, and they had 1 and 2 touchdowns respectively. Goff had 333 yards and 2 TDs to win the game. Way to go, man! It was a shootout. Herbert was on fire with 323 and 4 touchdowns. The problem was Eckler. Eckler is kind of limited, but both defenses obviously failed in this one because, I mean, it was a real, he lit the scoreboard up, 80 points. I mean, not typical for the NFL, but we're seeing this more often. It just really seems like it may be just, maybe teams are not coming out ready with their game plans because of defensive coordinators not ready, promoted a little bit ahead of their times. Next one, we had New York Blue People versus the Dallas Horse Riders. This wasn't even a game. The Horse Riders won as promised, but how they lost was 49-17. That's my goodness. No QB would do that. Shocked that Tommy DeVito, not Danny DeVito's little boy, but Tom, I don't know if they're related or not. He's New York. I don't know. Doubt it. Tommy DeVito threw 2 touchdowns, and that's progress, I guess. Moving on, Seattle They hosted the Washington team. Do they have a name now? You know they got a name. I just refuse to use it because they are in command of nothing. Anyway, Seattle won, but they didn't cover in this one, so I took the L on that one. Ouch. I know. I'm trying to do that. I'm just, I'm putting this stuff out and being vulnerable, guys. Kids appreciate it. Love the kids. Washington was up for this competition. Howell had a big day with 312 and 3 TDs, and Alabama's B-Rob, he caught 6 passes for 119 yards and a touchdown. One of the touchdowns was long, man. However, you're talking about Geno. Hey, man, you're talking about Geno. Forget about it. Hey, forget about it. Geno. He carried the offense down the field a couple times, and that's all it took. Jason Myers, MVP to that kicker. This man kicked up 5 field goals and had a total of 17 points for a team that won by 29. Do the math on that. He was a scoring machine for the Seattle Seahawks. Almost slipped up there, folks. We're going to let it ride. Jets versus the Vegas. I'm telling you, I need some antacid for that game. I mean, that one was really, really tough. Well, as you know, the interim coach, he benched Garofalo, and that pretty much allowed Vegas to win the game. And Josh Jacobs had over 125 yards, roll tide, 125 yards all purpose in the contest. It allowed him to control the clock. I believe in clock control. Trust me. And Crosby and crew, they just they kept the low-powered Cessnas at bay as Cessnas instead of Jets, because there ain't nothing jet fuel about that offense. And hey, check this out. Former Steeler Robert Spillane, he sealed the win at the end of the game with a game-clinching interception. Was it a pick six? I don't think it made it all the way, but either way, it was like, the Cessnas was trying to make a drive down the field, and Spillane, he sealed the deal. He used to be a Steeler. And we let him go. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Yeah. So next up, we had the game on Sunday night. What was that? No, that was Sunday night. Monday Night Football. Yuck. Denver went up to visit the Buffalo Bills. Now, yeah, I blew this one. Because who knew? Who knew? This just in per that game. Russell Wilson is not on life support. I mean, the old Russ showed up, and he got a big win in Buffalo. Good for him. I'm glad to see Russell's doing well. Allen, however, was awful. I mean, he had 3 turnovers. From the first play of the game, James Cook had another turnover. He had a turnover right at the beginning of the game. He missed the handoff. Later in the game, Josh was turning to give Cook the ball. Ball just fell on the ground. I'm like, what in the world is that? So anyway, with the other 3 interceptions or 2 interceptions, I think that Josh had, man, it was just terrible. The go ahead. Now, here's the thing. At the end of the game, Russ did his thing to get him down to field goal position. We know every win is precious in the NFL. Got him on the field, lined up with no time on the clock. Clock is ticking. They took a last-minute field goal, and they missed it to the right. Pushed to the right. Flag on the field. Against the defense of the Buffalo Bills. 12 men on the field. So, old Lutz got 5 more yards, took advantage, and nailed it for the 2-point victory. I'm like, man, give me a break. I mean, it was I think something with the Buffalo Bills is like, it's unraveling, and perhaps their window may be closing. Because, other than the guy that got really hurt last year with the chest injury, he got in the game this week. Good to see him out there, but everybody else is still there, except for the tight end. Can't think of his name, but it seems like they're unraveling. Either sometimes people have to get these offenses And the defensive coordinators just break them down. And, I don't know if it's because Josh not running like he used to, but man, it's just changed right now. Okay, now to what everybody really came for, the Steelers. The Steelers actually did a very good job for me. But I'm telling you, I was biting my nails every point of the way. We take the win, 19-23 against the Green Bay Packers. Not that I don't like them, I just like beating them. One thing I'll say, Tomlin is definitely in control of this team. As it was explained to me, like it or not, this season's squad is progressing in a carefully manicured way under Mike Tomlin. And the path to victory for his team is squarely rest on the shoulders of the defense. And I kind of understand that because that's better than placing it on Kenny Pickett's shoulder. He has been golden in the fourth, meaning he hadn't given the game away a lot. We got 6 wins, and that's good. And a lot of people, not everybody can say that. And, he's not a rookie, but, he's still young. He got to learn some things, or they want to work him into something. He's been a bit restrained first through the third, but, the end result is pretty good. We've been in most of the games that we've had to play, and, it's working. But the restraint they're using with Pickett is driving Pickens absolutely crazy. Talking crazy, reckless. I hope he don't get run out of Pittsburgh, but it is what it is if he can't control himself. Very few throws down the field, very safe tosses for the most part. It's a form that has garnered up a competitive 6-3. Compared to the last few years, I'll take it with worries. If we get in a shootout, we'll be able to handle it. Minkah has been moved up to questionable for now, and can we withstand another loss on defense? Quan Alexander is gone for the season. We just brought him in because of injury. Quan Alexander, I guess he ruptured his Achilles. Cole Holcomb has been placed on IR. And how will the backup to the backup linebacker play for the next few games? So, stopping the run is very vital, especially when the defense is our key to victory. That's half of the game, or a big third of the game. I'm calling it 3/3, but it's a big third of the game is defense. So I'm concerned, but in Tomlin, I trust. Now, just to wrap up this segment, I'll just let you know all the wins and losses all together. I gotta do better because I came in at an atrocious 42% on the week. I'm sorry, y'all.
And deceitful, chicanerous.
I'm taking my time. Some teams play better at home, and Baker be bakering, and I don't. I'm gonna get it there, but I'm gonna get it right. But until next time, please like this video, share information about the channel. Please subscribe. We're gonna keep doing this until we get it right. I want to at least get up into the 70%. This is not a good place to start. I want to get up in the 70s. And, maybe next year I can get in the high 70s. And if I get into the 80s, I'm just moving to Vegas. I'm just gonna go out there and I'm gonna get me a big glittery suit, get me a whole bunch of rings, get me some chains, and I'm gonna get that brim. It's probably gonna be like a furry brim, kind of like a pimp named Slickback. Give me one of them hats like that and a cane. And that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be with my wife only. But that's what I'm gonna be doing out there in Vegas.